election officials say, because of Donald Trump and his indictments, we're not going to let him on our ballot?
As you know, that's something that a lot of legal scholars are weighing in on right now. I think the bottom line for me is we're going to follow the law. We're going to follow the Constitution. We're going to see how these constitutional and legal questions, which are not cut and dry, play out in the months ahead, not just in the primary process, but with ongoing legal questions as well, evolving. So I would just say to everyone, it's going to be a quite a historic election cycle one way or the other. And I think we already see that unfolding with the candidates at play and the debates and the investigations and all the rest and the criminal indictments. Our job in Michigan as election administrators will be just to make sure that the process goes smoothly and that we operate by the book according to law in a way that in issues of, as you just, the example you just suggested, are really novel. We've never really had to grapple with something like that before. How are we doing so that complies with the law and the Constitution, but also is mindful of the precedent that's created, particularly in this era of false equivalency, where you have facts and then you have aspersions and conspiracy theories, and how do we make sure the law is applied in a way that's rooted in facts and evidence always, and aligns with what legal precedent would suggest. So all of those factors, and then there's a question of who should it be? The court? Should it be ultimately the U.S. Supreme Court who makes decisions like that, or weighs in on that, or in addition to state officials? So I think we should expect to see all of that unfold in the months ahead. And I have said for really since 2020 that this presidential cycle in 2024 is, I believe, in many ways going to be the grand finale of all of the bumps and the challenges we've seen and endured since the 2020 election cycle, maybe even since 2016. And there's a lot of variables and a lot of unknowns that have yet to play out. But from my standpoint, from my office's standpoint, from the Bureau's standpoint, the law and the Constitution will be our North Star, alongside the principles of protecting every voice and every vote for every Michigander.
So to be clear, Secretary, is it possible that Donald Trump won't make our presidential primary ballot because of these legal issues? Is that a possibility?
I would say there are valid legal arguments being made to that effect, but it's far too soon to really assess the likelihood of that, because a lot of the facts and the evidence and the legal analysis that all of that would have to be rooted in have still yet to be played out. But it's something that not just in our state, but colleagues in every state. I mean, the secretaries of state of multiple states are having conversations about just that. Democrats and Republicans, with, again, the clarity that we want to know what the law is and make a decision rooted in that, not in politics, but with a notion of what the reality is in this moment. So I'm talking with folks in Pennsylvania, with Secretary of States in Nevada, and even in Maine, people who in Georgia, of course, my colleague Brad Raffensperger, just to kind of get a sense of what the facts are, what the evidence is, what the timeline is, and but knowing there has been now, and there likely will be, an ongoing legal question about the former president's eligibility to be on the ballot, rooted in the 14th Amendment.
ATA, boy. This. Bro, do your motherfucking job. Do your